guys? It's Jedi Joey. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk to you about a little film I saw last week called Transformers 1. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, Transformers 1, what happened to Transformers 1 being the old 80s movie where Optimus Prime died? Or what happened to Transformers 1 being the 2007 Michael Bay movie? No. This is Transformers 1 because this is a prequel to a brand new franchise of Transformers films where they're taking off a franchise. You get to see the deeper level of what Optimus and Megatron, who they become before they are who they are. This is the story of Orion Pax and eventually Megatronus, which will eventually become Megatron. And so these two iconic legends are so important, and it's so great. You have a great voice cast here. You have Scarlett Johansson as Ace, who I just kind of treat as RC. You have Brian T as Megatron. You have Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime, which we're going to get to him in a minute because when we talk about the voice performances, I was really shocked. They had Keegan from Keegan and Peele from their comedy bit being Bumblebee. Bumblebee is a highlight of this movie. He steals the show. He's great, hilarious. I have knife hands. The balance. What I loved about this movie was the balance of the comedy meets the balance of the comedy meets the action. The animation visuals are so good, and there's this weird debate over is Hollywood still want to see franchise movies, and I want that to change. You guys need to go see these movies. I know there's people that saw Deadpool and Wolverine, but I know there's people that also aren't happy with the MCU, so they didn't support it. But we need to give these franchise movies focus. A lot of people didn't go see the new Turtles movie, even though it was pretty good. Deadpool and Wolverine deserves more. All these films deserve more. But Transformers 1 is something special. It is, for me, it is probably my favorite movie of the year so far. And there's a lot of great movies that came out this year so far, but this movie stands above the rest. The way it handles comedy and action in such a mature way, and this story, I felt in my heart the emotion, the emptiness machine between Megatron and Optimus, because I'm not going to spoil the movie, but you go on this journey with these characters, and by the time they build up to what potentially could happen in Transformers 2, and potentially in the larger franchise, anyone who knows the Transformers lore knows what things happen. This story, we're involved with the Terracons. There's a crazy twist with one of Optimus' mentors in the movie. And this movie's great because it starts out fun. It starts out just Transformers having a nice little limelight world, nothing dangerous, just kind of trying to live their life as miners and really just sells what that purpose is and where they go. And then as the movie crescendos, as it goes further and further down the line, as they get closer to becoming their characters through circumstances of the story, you unpack and see so much rivalry between these two characters. You feel the energy. You feel the energon within them. And I made that joke because energon is a thing in Transformers that's very important. But it's just wonderful. The music is great. There's tension. The characters, the Transformers they choose to focus on are brilliantly handled. Like I said, the voice acting, Scarlett Johansson. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Brian T. I didn't know how I was going to feel about Brian T. at first because I like my Megatron to sound very what's his name? Frank Welker, or I like him to sound very Hugo Weaving. I am Megatron. He's got that gruff sounding like Cobra Commander voice, and it's very menacing. Here he comes into his own. Here you see his origins as Megatron. It's a very different sounding voice, but it grew on me over time. And I thought RC/Ace did a great job. I like the banter between her and Orion Pax. Let's talk about Orion Pax, okay? Now, one of the biggest misconceptions of this movie was Chris Hemsworth. How is Chris Hemsworth going to be as Optimus? Or are you just going to be like, Thor? I'm Thor as a Transformer. But you don't want to discredit what work the amazing Peter Cullen has done as Optimus Prime, being the definitive voice of Optimus Prime in the Bayformers and in the old cartoons. But what I love about Chris Hemsworth here is it doesn't come off too Thor-y. there's a distinguished difference between how he goes from being Orion Pax to being Optimus. And this movie, I won't spoil the scene, but this movie has an Endgame level moment where when you see the transition from Orion Pax to Optimus, when Optimus is born, you get this amazing scene that you instantly know why Chris Hemsworth was chosen to play Optimus. And Optimus has this incredible fight scene towards the end, the rivalry between the Autobots and the Decepticons being formed. It's just such a brilliant movie. It made me emotional, great action, great comedy. I love Transformers 1. And just so you guys know, you might be asking, is there a post-credit scene? There is a funny bit in the credits where Bumblebee has to do his little gag with the knife hands. But then there is another end credit scene that for all old school Transformers fans, that you guys need to be aware of. Also, there's one other person we gotta talk about is, if you guys know your Transformers, one other famous voice actor is, we got to see Starscream, Shockwave, and Soundwave, which are some of my favorite Transformers characters. I just need to remember who played Starscream, because I thought he did a brilliant job. Just give me 1 second. But yeah, I just think this movie is fantastic. I mean, it has a great voice cast. You have Chris Hemsworth, Orion Pax. Before he became Megatron, he was called D16 Brian Tyree Henry. Scarlett Johansson played Alita 1. Keegan Michael Key. So Steve Buscemi. So I actually got invited to join one of Steve Buscemi's voice acting classes. I always wanted to become a voice actor. The dude's a legend. He's voiced Wolverine in the old 90s cartoon. He's famous. And they crushed it. And then here, he does a great job at Starscream, making him sound dumb and squabbly, and I'm in power. I'm Starscream. I'm the leader of the Decepticons. But then Megatron, of course, stomps on his throat, doing all the things we love. Even as far as Transformers go, the weaponry was done well with the animation. I didn't expect to see as much hand-to-hand combat in a Transformers movie, but they definitely delivered, and I loved it. I really did. I thought they did a brilliant job. And that second end credit scene is all about if Transformers gets a sequel. And all I'm going to say, guys, I love this movie so much. Please go see Transformers 1. There's already plans for a sequel, but if box office numbers don't improve, then these movies don't get sequels. So please go see Transformers 1. Do us a favor and watch it. It's brilliant. I'm giving Transformers 1 my highest score of the year, 10 out of 10 stars. It is a fantastic movie. I was emotionally invested. I had the time of my life. It had great action, great comedy. It is the best Transformers movie ever made, and I will have my ranking list of all the Transformers films done when you come back here later, either later tonight or tomorrow. I'll have it done for you guys. Share your thoughts, guys. Did you guys enjoy Transformers 1? Let me know. And remember, Decepticons, rise up, and Autobots, rule out. Thanks for watching.